biggest option for most people is choosing the gauge or the scale of the kind of railway that they want to model. About getting started in model railways, and I thought this live would be a good opportunity to talk about some of the ideas that I give people who are quite inspired and they want to partake in the hobby and they want to make their first step, and what the best ways to go about doing that is. So we've got a few examples of some products.
Whoops. Because it can be a bit confusing, can't it? Because there's so many different options around.
Certainly. I think probably the biggest option for most people is choosing the gauge or the scale of the kind of railway that they want to model. The two most common ones, and I've got these two carriages. They're identical. They're different scales. Can we go to the top camera?
Can do.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's zoom in a bit. How's that?
Excellent. So we've got double O gauge on the left. So that is it's a British modeling scale.
Yep.
In Australia and America and the rest of the world, they have HO, but it's all a very similar size. This is probably the standard scale used worldwide, HO and double O. Largest availability of product, probably the best value for money in terms of detail and everything like that. So that's usually a good choice for most people. The second most popular scale or gauge is N, which is approximately half the size. So that's a scale factor of, depending on what region you're in, around about 1 to 148 or 1 to 150 versus 1 to 76. So approximately half the size again. Really great for people living in or who only have small spaces, or if they want to build quite a large, visually impressive landscape, that will allow them to have more room for scenery. So once you've had a think about your space requirements, your budget, and what gauge looks and feels right to you, because I really encourage before people make that kind of decision that they come into a shop and have a look for themselves and get a feel for the different scales. Because
focus in on that because I was a bit out of focus.
Okay, yeah, sure.
How's that? That's better. Oh, where am I feeling here? There we go. That's much better.
Excellent. But yeah, it's really recommended that you get a feel for what these gauges or scales look like.
For sure. I mean, if you go for the bigger stuff, the HO scale, then you can definitely see a bit more detail. The N scale is, when you look up close, it still has similar sort of detail. But I guess when you're talking about bigger scales, then from a distance, it actually is more impressive, but it's taking up more space.
That's true. And you're right. The level of detail on the smaller scales is almost, in some cases, to the same standard as this, but sometimes those details aren't as easy to appreciate unless you're really close or you've got amazing eyesight. So
which is not me.
So yeah, there's a good thing. So choosing your scale or your gauge, depending on which region, will depend on what terminology you like to use. Having a look and getting a feel for what looks right for you is an important factor. And then I'll bring up something that I think is a really great starting point for a lot of people. And that is a starter track set. So there's two real ways to go about this, I think, that are a good idea for a beginner. You could buy a train set, and that has everything included in it. So you have your power pack, you have your usually just an oval of track, locomotive, and some carriages. And that's a really good starting point for a lot of people. The quality of the equipment in a set usually isn't up to the same standard of what you buy standalone. And they do that just to keep the prices affordable and obtainable. But for somebody who probably wants to go after something a bit more sophisticated, or if the locomotives and rolling stock that they want doesn't exist in a set, they can go about creating it piecemeal, buying each individual bit that they need. And this is a really great set by Pico. And we'll have a look on the back, and now we'll have a look at the front.
Let's go to this camera here. Well, it gives you advantages too, right? Is if you want something a bit more custom, then you end up here with quite a nice layout, which is all in one box.
That's exactly right.
You pick whatever train you like, and then you just need a controller.
Absolutely right. Yeah. It basically gives you a basic oval, and they've given you your overall dimensions here. So it's almost 1.7 by 1.1 meters. So that's great. So it lets you know what space you need to create this. And then you have some turnout pieces, which they recommend several different configurations. So straight away, you've got sidings to park trains, carriages, or create industries. And Pico Track is a very, I guess it's an internationally quite a popular brand. And individual track pieces and track sets.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I heard the siren before, and I thought that was a police car coming to pick you up, and I heard it take off, so I thought you were
very
gone.
well could have been. No.
Or dropping off.
Or dropping off, that's right. I've just flown in. Thanks for having me. Sorry, Marlin, I didn't mean to, but I was looking forward to this. You said something about a starter set.
That's right.
You wanted to learn, didn't you?
I want to learn about this stuff. I don't know.
I'll give you a quick
What's
recap.
hashtag Heidi up to? She's bigger than the car.
That's
what is
right.
this?
Yeah.
That's part of our Road Ragers range, isn't it?
I think
You're
you're
giving
right.
right.
That is.
Giving it away, mate.
Why?
That's too much info.
Well, they don't look that angry.
But look, I got look. So as Anthony said,
Who's Anthony?
well, Anthony, he reckons it's a mini.
Well, it's a mini car,
It's
but
small,
It's not a
mini.
It's not a mini.
No, so unfortunately, Anthony, you're not quite right there.
It's smaller than hashtag Heidi. Sorry, Marlin, I didn't mean to come
No,
in.
no,
and
no
railroad
need to
you,
be
mate.
sorry at all. I'll give you a quick recap.
All right.
Please.
So we've had a lot of people come into the shop within the last week or so wanting to get into model railways.
Yeah,
And
me included.
yeah, and one thing that I've wanted to show people is just an easy way to get going.
Yeah.
Particularly if you don't want to buy a set with everything included. How do you go about buying a locomotive you like, rolling stock you like, and then buying the whole set?
That's
So
right.
we're looking at these track sets by Pico. We'll just have a look down here if we can.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
I'll go back.
And yeah, and this is a great way to get started because you get a basic oval and some turnouts that you can arrange them how you'd like in a few different configurations, and then you can add on whether it be individual track pieces or little packets of different.
Is it
types
big
of
enough
track.
to put like a track on the inside, or is it already like the tightest radii?
This is a number 2 radius.
Oh, there we
So
go.
we've talked about radius a
We
little
have.
bit
I've been
before.
learning all about my radius.
So 1 being the tightest that's commercially sold,
Yeah.
and 4 being the broadest. So this is a number 2.
So does that mean I can put number 1 inside number 2?
Absolutely, you can
That's-
put it number 1 inside,
Number 3 on the outside?
number 3 on the outside, and then number 4 outside of that. So that's actually what they suggest. You can add the next track set up to make a double track set with a crossover. So you can have trains going in both loops, and then have the ability to cross them over from one to
Shut
the
up
other.
and take my money, Mel.
So yeah, look, this is
You had me at choo-choo.
I hadn't said that yet. But yeah, there's just a look at some of the contents in the box. You even get buffer stops to put at the ends of the spurs, which is
Need
really
them if
cool.
I'm driving, mate.
Yeah.
Pico's really nice. You got the nickel silver track. It's really good quality.
Pretty well loved brand around the world, and still made in the UK.
And you can put any like rolling stock on there. Is that right? It doesn't have to be like Pico trains. You can put Barcomane and Hornby.
Yeah, it's
and-
pretty standardized.
yeah, it's very standardized, isn't it?
HO and 00 scale, any of that will work on this.
But we
track.
seem to sell more of these like points and stuff like that,
Mhm.
don't we? Then what do you call it? I don't know, track hardware.
I would say
Then
so.
seems to be any other brand though. The Pico brand seems to be really, really popular.
Yeah, it's really good quality. It's good value for money, and it's known to last a long time and work well.
Tell me about a frog stop.
Hey, what? Sorry,
Is it a frog stop?
a frog stop.
That's a different thing you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Well, there is something called a frog, and that is
That's
that's it.
A frog.
That's the point where the 2 converging rails meet. If anybody knows why it's called that, that would be great, because I'm yet to understand the terminology.
There we
What's
go. A
it
bit of
called?
interaction.
What was that?
So the point on a the point on a point,
Yeah.
or the area on a point where the converging rails meet, is
Yeah.
called a frog.
A frog.
Maybe because it looks like a spread out frog.
I like frogs. Well,
Yeah, you got the back legs.
ask
the
our
front
viewers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that's it.
it.
well, there you
If
If
go.
anybody knows why it's called a frog,
That's
I
right,
would
let us
really
know.
appreciate it. I
All right.
like VJ's theory. So we've
Yeah.
also got an N gauge
What's
set.
that's
So
like smaller.
that's it. So this one is compatible with this. So HO00, and then this set is compatible with N.
Whoa.
So
So,
this
so
is-
much more compact.
You're blowing my mind.
That's it. So this is essentially the exact same set, just in a smaller scale.
Do you know the only thing that I would be reluctant to start up with an Engage set?
What?
Is because by the time I get old enough to like play with it and craft it, I probably can't see.
No. By that time, there'll be technology to help you see.
Well, hopefully.
Glasses.
Yeah, you
I think that's
Yeah,
why
you'll
I'm
be fine.
enjoying 8-scale buggy so much now, because
got.
it's like high definition RC cars.
But one big advantage, if the eyesight isn't an issue, is
Yeah.
that this takes up a lot less space. So just over a meter in length
Mm.
and actually under a meter in depth.
It's
you
like
can-
apartment size layout.
Absolutely. So yeah, this really is. You could set this up on a board, and
Apartment size.
Yeah.
that's
We'll
it.
have to use that.
Apartment
Hashtag
size.
apartment size.
Yeah.
TM trademark.
So of course, you have to power these things.
Power it.
Otherwise, you're going to be pushing the trains around
making noise.
Yourself, making noise. So
yeah, that's probably what I do.
An analog controller like this one from Gauge Master, also made in the UK, just like the Pico tracks, is a really good way to get started.
Yep.
Who's ringing?
I'm not quite sure, but
that's all right.
But we won't take it out of the box because it's pretty self-explanatory.
It's actually pretty compact.
But they are very compact, and they just plug into the wall. You have your throttle control, directional control.
Yeah.
And then this will plug into a part on this set or this set.
And that will do both gauges.
That will do both gauges. So.
And then how many locos could you run off that?
Ideally, just one.
Yeah.
Because you're controlling the voltage to the track. So however many locos you have on a bit of track will move.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, but very few locomotives are actually going to run at consistent speeds.
Yeah.
One's almost always going to be faster than the other, so they'll catch up eventually. But so this is a really, really good way to get started. You got your track set, you got your power pack, and then that frees you up the ability to buy whatever locomotives and rolling stock that you need. Another thing that I would highly in your shed.
My shed and my power plant.
Another thing I'd highly recommend.
You got a power plant in your shed.
We showed it the other week. Power plant.
Oh, you mean the little one?
Oh, yeah, that's
I thought you meant a real working one.
No, crikeys.
I don't know.
Well,
no, unless you ask a question.
This is we have a lot of books by Pico. This is one that's a plan book for HO00 scale.
Yeah, a plan book.
This one. So the reason why I like these is because they give you inspiration and ideas about what's possible.
Yeah.
Particularly within a certain space. So here you have information about wiring up your layout and using different kinds of accessories.
Oh, there's your turnout motor.
Reminds me of a Tamiya catalogue in the RC sector.
It's pretty similar in that
sense. Do they release these every year or quarter, or is it like a magazine? Or
well, this is a magazine. This is more of a how-to guide kind of book, more than a catalog. But it does highlight the products that they sell. But here's some examples. It'll get more complex as the book goes along, but of a plan. And why these are really great is it doesn't just show the actual plan itself, but it shows you which track pieces that you need to achieve it.
Yeah, and quite often that's a bit of guesswork, isn't it?
It is, and a part list. So you can go into a hobby shop, you can go into Hearns and be like, okay, I need this, 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 and this.
Yep.
And then we can put together everything you need to create this. And it's also laid out in square feet grids, which if you do a little bit of quick conversion. Oh, and also in centimeters as well.
I was going to say, I'd be hoping that they would move to the metric system by now. No, especially if you've got an apartment.
That's it. Everything's in square meters now, or square centimeters. So yeah, just some really cool ideas. Sometimes they give you a perspective view.
We've got an answer to what is a frog.
Yep.
Okay, so how about I work out how to do this? Here we go. The term frog is taken from the part of a horse's hoof most closely resembles. Certain types of overhead electrification systems that make use of trolley poles have similar devices referred to as... Hang on, I've got another part here. Wire frogs. On dual gauge switches, a special frog is used where the third rail crosses the common rail. Now that still opens up the question of why is a horse's hoof called a frog?
Well, now we need to on our own time research horses.
In rail, there's panda clips and everything.
It's not panda clips.
There's
panda clips? Wait, I haven't seen them before.
Yeah, there's panda clips.
I want to see a panda clip.
I don't believe him, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Is that Jeff?
Yeah.
Did Jeff say
Thank you. My name is Jeff.
Yes.
In fact,
this is what I like a bit of interaction.
Yes.
We can all learn.
Because I've always wanted to know that, and that's an excellent answer. But now I need to research horse hooves and understand why they're named after a frog. So it just keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
But anyway, guys,
maybe hashtag Heidi would like to take a photo of that too.
Hashtag Heidi.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
everything. That this is almost to scale with this car.
Is it?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Quite similar.